In the last video, Zhao Kongqing explained to Lin Xie the background and settings. Welcome to Chapter Chronicles, subscribe for manga recaps. He ends off by inviting Lin Xie to join his organization. His tone carried a hint of seduction. Isn't this noble? Isn't this cool? So come join us too. Lin Xie also pondered for a moment. Yes, it is very noble and handsome. I respect you all very much. He's not joking. What could be more important than protecting the country? However, he has an aunt and a cousin. Lin Xie looked out the window with a calm expression. His aunt is not old, but for his cousin and him, she works day and night in the factory and has been doing this for 10 years. Now her body is almost at its limit. She has been living her life too carefully and tiring. Although his cousin Yang Jing is very intelligent and filial, he is too young to bear the burden of the family. Therefore, Lin Xie decided that he must study hard and make money to support the family. He wants to buy a big house for his aunt and cousin. He wants to make sure his aunt never has to go back to that dark factory to suffer again. They never gave up on him, a disabled person, in the past 10 years. Now that Lin Xie's eyes have finally recovered, how can he abandon them? Night Watchers are very noble and great. If conditions permit, Lin Xie will also join them. But now, Lin Xie just wants to protect his family and stay by their side. Hence, when Zhao Kongqing invited him to join the noble Night Watchers, he resolutely refused. After hearing Lin Xie's explanation, Zhao Kongqing was stunned. He really didn't expect this ordinary student in front of him to have such mature thoughts. At the same time, he realized how ridiculous his previous behavior was inside. You can go now. Lin Xie waved goodbye and walked to the door, saying, "Thank you for telling me so much. I will sign the confidentiality agreement." When Lin Xie returned home, he sighed that the world was really complicated and then prepared to change his clothes and rest. A hard object fell out of his coat pocket. It was a metal seal with Zhao Kongqing's name engraved on it. When Lin Xie picked up the seal and flipped it over, several lines instantly caught his attention. When darkness strikes, I will stand before the millions, soared towards the abyss, blood smears the sky. Such a powerful sentence was engraved on the seal. Lin Xie guessed that it must be the Night Watcher's resolution. In his dream tonight, Lin Xie went to the dean's office, searching. Not long after, Lin Xie, wearing a white coat, slowly walked out and took on the role of a psychiatrist, beginning today's treatment. In the cafeteria, Nix was playing with a bunch of bottles and cans, whispering, with a smile occasionally appearing on her lips. According to the mythological texts that Lin Xie had researched, Nix was indeed one of the oldest and most powerful gods in Greek mythology, with top-tier status and power. She had more than 20 children, including the god of death, the god of sleep, the goddess of destiny, etc. Could it be that she missed her children so much that she treated those bottles and cans as her own children? But what happened to Nix's offspring that could cause such a severe reaction from her? Nix caresses the vase in her hand, gazing into the distance in a daze. She murmurs Thanatos' name. This child has always been a troublemaker. When he comes back, I will have to teach him a lesson. A trace of sadness appears on her beautiful face, followed by tears. But it's been 3,000 years, why hasn't he returned? Lin Xie feels a pang of sourness in his heart as he watches this scene. He never imagined that the high and mighty goddess of the night would also be a pitiful mother. How can he help and cure Nix's illness? Wait a minute. Lin Xie suddenly realizes how to treat Nix. Nix is suffering from excessive longing, imagining everything around her as her children. If we comply with her illusions, perhaps we can open her heart. In Nix's blank gaze, Lin Xie walked towards her, step by step, gently squatting down and opening his arms to embrace the goddess. He whispered, "Mother, I'm back," near her ear. At this moment, Nix's eyes suddenly lit up with unprecedented brilliance. She dropped the vase in her hand and tremblingly reached out to tightly hug Lin Xie. After a long time, she finally trembled and spoke a complete sentence. "Welcome back, my child." At the moment Nix spoke these words, a virtual panel appeared out of nowhere in Lin Xie's eyes. showing Nix's treatment progress at 3%. Lin Chia released a deep breath. Finally, there was some progress. The 3% progress had met the reward condition, and it was time to draw Nix's divine power. Immediately after, a virtual lottery wheel appeared and started spinning rapidly. The power was divided into multiple sections on the spinning wheel, with similar probabilities. There were various abilities, and Lin Chia was somewhat startled by the extraordinary reproduction ability. That's considered a god's ability too, he wondered. The pointer spun quickly and soon stopped on Starlit Dancer. This ability didn't seem too powerful, but at least it wasn't. Extraordinary reproduction. If he had drawn that, does that mean he wouldn't even need a wife to have a divine child? After the draw, Nix handed over a bowl with the character, Starlit Dancer, floating on it. Lin Chia reached out to the characters, which then turned into light and flowed into his body. He felt a mysterious energy quickly transforming his body, from his soul to his flesh. He felt refreshed and comfortable, as if he had been thoroughly cleansed. After a moment, a few lines of small characters slowly appeared in front of him. Starlit Dancer. In the dark night, your speed, strength, endurance, and recovery abilities are all 5 times those of normal. Your presence will be harder to detect in the dark night, and your intimidation towards other creatures is stronger. You have the ability to communicate with nocturnal animals. This ability, which doesn't sound very impressive, is exceptionally powerful. Just the physical ability alone is 5 times that of an average person, which could be considered superhuman. And this is only under his normal conditions, without any systematic training. Lin Chia can't imagine what kind of growth he would have with proper training. With this ability, Lin Chia now has the power to protect his family. As for Nix, she was now looking at Lin Chia with gentle eyes, holding a small bottle, and whispering, "Thanatos, you don't know how much your brother misses you. Come, give him a hug." Taking over the bottle, Lin Chia was a bit speechless, catching sight of the label. Fluoxetine? Why does that name sound familiar? Wait, isn't that the drug the psychiatrist gave him during the day? And there are 2 words, God's use, written on it. In this instance, Lin Chia seemed to have thought of something and suddenly became excited. He put down the medicine bottle and ran out. At the end of the hallway in this hospital, he found a medication storage room. He couldn't bring real medicine to the hospital, but he could find drugs that affected the gods here. With this, things seemed much simpler. When the door to the medication storage room opened, it was filled with all sorts of drugs that were perfect for treating the gods. He should have thought of this earlier. As it turned out, this was a mental hospital for treating the gods. Since it was a hospital, it naturally had a medication storage room, and the drugs inside were all special medications designed for the gods. When the alarm clock rang, Lin Chia got up energetically. As he was getting ready to go to school, he saw his aunt at the door, getting ready to go to work at the factory. The factory had received a new batch of parts, and she had been called in urgently, so she asked Lin Chia to have breakfast with his cousin and reminded him not to be late. Lin Chia's eyes became a little sour. He lowered his head and blinked a few times. Just as his aunt was about to close the door, Lin Chia stopped her and suddenly lifted his head, as if he had made a decision. "Aunt, I can see now," he said. Aunt opened her eyes and looked at Lin Chia's eyes. Tears burst out of her eyes. She quickly embraced Lin Chia, and he could feel her body trembling slightly. "Great, great! Our little 7 has finally made it." Aunt's care for him made Lin Chia feel something he couldn't express, and it strengthened his determination to protect this family. His cousin also cheered at his side upon hearing the great news. At Sengnan City No. 6 Middle School, when Lin Chia entered the classroom of Class 2, the entire class suddenly became quiet. You are Lin Chia? Your eyes have recovered. Wow, your eyes are so beautiful." The girls huddled together, murmuring, occasionally glancing at Lin Chia. The classroom became noisy again. A classmate who was closer to Lin Chia asked how he had recovered. "It's just that I've been recovering all along. I went to the hospital yesterday, and it's fine now," Lin Chia explained, embarrassedly smiling. However, two people in the corner, Li Fei and Lu Yuan, seemed out of place in this noisy classroom. During break time that day, Li Fei and Lu Yuan called Lin Xie to the rooftop. They apologized to him, bowing and admitting their mistake. They were too scared when they encountered the monster and ran away without thinking, leaving Lin Xie and Jiang Qian behind. As a result, Jing Qian Shi, Lin Xie interrupted them and said that it was understandable to run away when facing danger and that there was no need to apologize. He patted Lu Yuan on the shoulder and said that he would have run faster if he were in their shoes. Lu Yuan was a little relieved, then he seemed to remember something and asked about the confidentiality agreement that they signed after encountering the monsters. It seemed that what Zhao Kongqing said was true, and someone did come to find them that night to sign the agreement. Li Fei clenched his fist and expressed his desire to join the mysterious and powerful organization that fights against the enemies hidden in human society, as being an ordinary person was boring. Lin Xie shook his head and shattered his illusion, saying that it was too idealistic. He might sacrifice himself in the first mission, and his parents might not even know about his death, leaving him to leave this world alone. After speaking, Lin Xie quietly left. The real battles hidden in secrecy are beyond the imaginations of ordinary people. After school, when Lin Xie hurried back home, it was already almost raining. As soon as he opened the door, he saw that it was Zhao Kongqing sitting there waving at him. Lin Xie is shocked and confused. "It's you. How did you find my house?" Zhao Kongqing smiled slightly and shook the seal. "I put this in your pocket. It's trackable." Lin Xie fell silent, responding with a lowered head. "I told you I wouldn't join." Zhao Kongqing took out a stack of thick money and explained, "I'm not here for that." Lin Xie furrowed his eyebrows. "What does this mean?" Zhao Kongqing smiled calmly and took out a cigarette from his pocket. "Do you mind?" Which Lin Xie replied, "I mind." He had no choice but to put the cigarette away and lean back in his chair, his eyes filled with reminiscence. Zhao Kongqing shared his own story. When he was 6 years old, his father passed away, and his mother had to work 2 jobs to raise him. In those days, life was slow-paced, and his mother's expectation for him was to study well, return to the village to become a village leader, marry a wife, and live happily together. At that time, Zhao Kongqing's grades were good, and becoming a village leader was not difficult. But he chose to join the army despite his mother's opposition. On the day he left, his mother stood at the door and watched him leave, silently crying. He really wanted to stay by his mother's side, but he still made the decision and joined the army in the end. After joining the army, Zhao Kongqing was determined to make some achievements, get medals, and return home in glory. Later, his rank rose higher and higher, and he entered the special forces. And because he was good at martial arts, he was transferred to the Night Watcher. Unfortunately, his mother's body was worn out from working too hard when she was young. He had planned to return to the village as a leader to stay by her side and take care of her, but he couldn't stay since he had joined the Night Watcher. Zhao Kongqing didn't mention what happened next. Instead, he suddenly smiled at Lin Xie and said, "But you are different. You are smarter than me and have your own ideals. It is great to stay with your family and accompany them." Zhao Kongqing looked into Lin Xie's eyes and pointed his thumb at himself and said, "Since you have chosen this path, stay on it. Leave protecting the world to us." Then he pointed at the stack of money on the table and continued, "Take this money and give it to your aunt. I know about your family's situation." Lin Xie didn't hesitate and replied, "I don't want it. My aunt won't take it either." Lin Xie was firm in his attitude. Although his family was poor, he had his own bottom line. He wouldn't take the money earned by a soldier who sacrifices his own life, especially since his eyesight has recovered and he has the ability to support his family. Zhao Kongqing's mouth twitched slightly as he and Lin Xie stared at each other for a long time, either giving in. Seeing that he couldn't convince Lin Xie, he could only take the stack of money back and leave. Lin Xie saw him off, and they blessed each other before parting ways. Lin Xie wished him all the best and hoped that one day he would become General Zhao with numerous honors. The rain grew heavier and heavier. In the pouring rain, Zhao Kongqing rubbed his fingers over the seal and murmured to himself, "When darkness strikes, I will stand before the millions, soar towards the abyss, blood smears the sky." Just then, his earpiece suddenly rang with an emergency message from his teammate. Zhao Kongqing's pupils contracted sharply. "Ghost Mask King is nearby," the teammate said. "The deputy leader of the Tsangnan City team has discovered Ghost Mask King's bloodstains in the nearby sewage network. Judging from the tracks at the scene, Ghost Mask King, who is wounded and fleeing, may be headed for either the old city or the city center." Zhao Kongqing had just left Lin Qiye's house in the old city area. Hong Ying's team was rushing towards Zhao Kongqing's location. Their mission was to evacuate the residents of the old city area. Even Hong Ying, the woman who was heavily injured, is deployed. Zhao Kongqing knew that the situation was not to be underestimated. Their team leader had taken most of the members to the city center, where the crowd flow was so huge that evacuation would be impossible. If Ghost Mask King appeared there, it would cause a lot of casualties, and the consequences would be unthinkable. When Zhao Kongqing told Lin Qiye about the story of his life, he envied or perhaps hoped that Lin Qiye would choose to accompany and protect his family. The responsibility to protect the country should not be borne by a 17-year-old boy.